Hello everyone, welcome to linuxhelp.com. Today we are going to see how to install and configure Nagios code version 4.3.4 on OpenSUSE Leap 42.3. Nagios is an open source monitoring tool. With Nagios, you can monitor your remote host and their services remotely on a single window. It also shows warning and indicates if something goes wrong, which is not in your usual way. Now let us see its installation and configuration. On OpenSUSE Leap 42.3, for that switch to your terminal. First, make sure you have Apache service installed and enabled in your machine. I have already installed Apache. Which is active and running. Next, install development tool, which is a requirement for installing your Nagios from source code. First, add repo for your development tools, then run zyper refresh to update your repo. And finally, install your development tools by running the following command. Next, also install some dependent packages. Next, also install some dependent packages which is required for your source code installation. Once you're done with the installation, start download your Nagios file in any archive format with the help of wget command. At present, version 4.3.4 is the latest update released by Nagios, so download it with the help of wget. Now extract this package by following command. Once you're done with the extraction, move inside the extracted directory and run your configure. After running your configure script, proceed with make all in order to compile the main program and your CGIs. Once you're done with that, add a user and group for your Nagios. Similarly, add a group. Now add this user towards the created group. Similarly, the Apache group name, which is www.run in OpenSUSE. Once you're done with this process, run make install to install all the necessary directories which is to be installed. And for your service configuration, run make install init. Your init script will be automatically installed for your daemon, which is your Nagios. Now enable it by running the following command. After enabling it, you can install the following modules like command mode, config files, and also enable mode rewrite module in Apache, followed by CGI module. And install PHP for your machine. I have already installed PHP version 7 in my machine. which is the default version in OpenSUSE Leap 42.3. After installing Zyper install PHP, you can enable the PHP module in Apache. PHP module is already enabled, else enable it using the above command. And that's it, we have done with the installation of Nagios code from its source code. Next, compile and install Nagios plugin version 2.2.1. For that, install required packages. After installing your dependent packages, download the archive format for your Nagios plugin using wget command. Next, extract this. Now move inside the extracted directory. And run the following script for setting up your configure file. Once you're done with that, run your configure script. Once your configure script gets over, run make to compile all the things which are configured. And finally your make install. Once you're done with this, restart your Nagios and Apache service. Since we haven't added any prefix, by default it gets installed in the default location, which is user local Nagios. When you move inside this, you'll be able to see the bin directories, etc directory, libexecute, which comprises of all the plugins which we have installed from source code. These are all the available plugins which gets installed by default when we install Nagios plugin from its source code. And finally, provide this command ht password in order to create your credential for your Nagios admin, which you use in your web interface. After that, restart your Apache service. This is your present working directory when you list it out, and move inside your etc. Next, switch to your browser. Provide your machine's IP address or your fully qualified domain name, followed by Nagios. Enter your domain name or your IP address. Enter your username. By default, the username is Nagios admin. Provide the password which you have created before, and you will be logged inside this terminal. Click on host. By default, your local host gets added. This is because you have your localhost.cfg file. Inside your Nagios configuration. This particular file is indicated inside this nagios.cfg. Definitions for monitoring your local host. In this, your localhost.cfg gets indicated inside this configurations file, which is the reason your localhost machine is being listed in this window. And for adding a new host, which is either your Windows or Linux host, you have to add this cfg files in its respective locations and then put them in the configuration file, which is nagios.cfg. And when you click on the services which is running and the status of those services in my machine is being listed here. Only my SSH services is in critical state, which is why, because my SSH is not connected in port 22, which is the default port for your SSH, and rest of all the services are looking good. And this is your host status total, in which up host is only 1, the remaining is all 0 and no problem in my host, whereas in services there are total 7 services and 1 is in critical state. So finally total problem is 1. And this is the basic installation and configuration of Nagios Core 4.3.4 on OpenSUSE Leap 42.3. In our upcoming videos, we'll see how to add new hosts such as Windows or Linux hosts. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel Linux Help. For further tutorials, visit www.linuxhelp.com. Any queries, mail to support@linuxhelp.com.